a little bit yesterday, and actually just so everyone knows, I first connected with Ron. I don't know how many years ago it was, but it was through the internet. It was through internet marketing. I believe I put a video out on YouTube a few years ago. He posted a comment, said, give me a call. We need to chat about something. Talked with, called him like the next day or something, and instantly we're on like this 4 hour conversation or something, getting to know each other, and just, absolutely just, in perfect, it's the law of attraction in action, right? When you just have your, you're thinking your energy right, you're just doing the right things, you connect with awesome people doing great work in the world. So yeah, it's great to be connected with you, Ron. So I appreciate you having me on, and being open to share some of my story and my background and kind of how I got to where I am today. Being able to make thousands of dollars, every month, doing what I love. It's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate the opportunity to share some of the secrets with these guys and gals.
Absolutely.
Totally, totally. So I mean, literally, how it all started for me, even before I met Ron. Like I'm so right now I'm 29 years old. I've been doing internet marketing for about 9 years or so, and it's funny. What really first started me into this online world was when I had my first business I created was a clothing company when I was 20 years old. Actually, a buddy of mine and I we started this based on a creative idea that we had, and so we started designing shirts, creating shirts, and printing and selling shirts mostly. So after a few months of doing that, we decided we wanted to have a website created, right? Because it was time to go, go global. We need to, expand this thing. So we're like, okay, great. We're going to have a website created. So once we did, we had, kind of the fancy bells and whistles on it, cool features, all this stuff. It looked nice, but once it was complete, we had no idea what we were going to do with it. Like we're like, what do we do with the website, right? What do we do now? We had no idea what to do with it. So that's when I started learning more, and I started, searching, doing some research, like how do you sell products on the internet? How do you sell stuff online? And when I started, going down that rabbit hole and started learning more about some of the things that were possible and what this thing called internet marketing was, because before I didn't even know what that term internet marketing really meant, right? So I just started doing more research. I started seeing people that had these online businesses, and I was like, how? I started seeing people that are like surfing at the beach. They're making these, wacky videos. They're making, 50,000 a month, $50,000 a month or more, and I'm like, what? I'm like, how is that? How is that possible, right? Like that's what I want to learn how to do, right? I'm like, that's what I want, right? That's the reason I have a business, so I can, make enough money, make more than enough money, just do the things I love, and just be free, right? To really be free. That's really what I wanted. Just be free to do what I want when I want, and never have to be on someone else's schedule or have to have a job I didn't want. I just wanted to have my own thing, be creative, have fun, and just add value to society, and just, turned out to be an internet business is a great way to do it, right? So I started learning more about it. And once I got into this world, I started learning, that this is thing like stuff on online marketing. Like it's really different than most ways I've thought of business and ways to make money before, like in the offline world, because there were things like ebooks that were selling for $97, right? And that at first, like I didn't really understand why that made sense, right? I was like, well, if you have a book in Barnes and Noble or something, it costs maybe $15 or $20. I'm like, why is it? It's a digital book. Like, there's no paper material. Like, why is it 5 times more expensive for a digital book, right? So I was like, there was like different rules that sort of went into this online marketing game, right? That I never learned about or knew about before. And there's all these different tools and all these elements that need to be in place if you are going to make money online, right? I didn't know this thing called an autoresponder, right? I didn't know you had to either make your products or have a lot of things to go into product development and promotion and building a relationship with your list and doing all these things, tech support and customer support and merchant accounts and shopping carts and all these things. Like I didn't realize all these things needed to be in place. So the first few years of studying online marketing and learning how to actually make money online, a lot of the years it was really a struggle for me to actually consistently make good income online because number one, like as Ron kind of mentioned, like one of the things that I really focus on and strive to be better and better and better at every day is my thinking process, right? It's my beliefs, it's my attitude, it's my mindset, it's my, just my overall energy with what I'm doing, what I'm focused on, and how I'm creating the life that I really want, right? Really being able to focus on that feel good about that and create that. So I always had big dreams. When I first started, I didn't have the ability to really focus, right, on one thing, which was a big challenge for me. I had all these different projects, and there were all these different ways to make money online, right? Then I was just so excited about all these different ones. I thought that I was able to just manage all of that. But it's like when you're first starting out, you got to focus on one thing until you get it off the ground, right? That's a huge lesson I learned over the years doing this stuff, right? So that's why I love what I'm doing right now, because virtually all of the stuff that I tried to figure out before is now done for me, right? A lot of the stuff is done for me. The products are done for me. The sales process is done for me. Virtually 90% of it is like done for me. All the technical stuff and all the ways to make money are virtually there, done for me. Now all I just do is bring people to there, which is a very simple process I figured out as well. But it's now because of all that experience that I've finally found out how this works, right? Some of the secrets that go on behind the curtain, so to speak, that most times people don't want you to really know how simple it can actually be, right? When you want to just build an email list, build a relationship with the email list, and promote things and offer things to that email list. Like when you realize it's that simple, and then you have ways to virtually automate that process for you, then you realize that wow, it's really possible, and it's simpler than I thought it was, and wow, I can now understand in a new way that it's really simple and very, very possible and doable for virtually anyone to be able to make, whatever their goal is, $3,000 a month, if they want to make $5,000 a month, if they want to make $10,000 a month, or if they want to make more. It's possible when you have the right tools in place, when you have the right mindset, you have the right beliefs, and you associate and work with the right people, then you can get those results. Obviously, we're not, let's just put a disclaimer here, we're not guaranteeing any income with anything that we promote or share or offer or whatever you decide to join or do, but there are real people just like you and me that have less experience than us and are making a lot more money than we have and ever have or ever have before, and it's really possible. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you, just for the sake of our attendees, can you explain, like for example, I know you've done the video marketing. Can you kind of explain the benefits with, like what we're doing right here with the Hangout technology? Explain how that really has changed the ball game in comparison to like when we first started in internet marketing.
Yeah, oh, totally. I mean, well, yeah, before, even 5 years ago or whatever, before Google Hangouts and stuff, I mean, this was pretty, it was pretty expensive technology that you have to pay, hundreds of dollars for virtually every single month in order to do stuff like this. Now you can just pop on a Google Hangout, you can hit record, and you can have a conversation with, a friend, you can have a conversation with an associate or business partner or whatever. You can do like team Hangouts, you can do team stuff, you can bring people together as a community, linking through the power of video, right, which is probably the best way to, the best next thing to being in real, face-to-face sitting next to each other, because now this is more than just a picture. It's more than anything else. When you're able to see someone's video and you're able to hear them live and be sort of at this event with other people, I mean, it's a huge opportunity for so many things, right? No matter what you enjoy doing, or no matter what you're interested in or passionate about. Like if you like reading books, if you like reading certain types of books, if you're interested in like personal development, for example, you could do a book club, right? You can do a book of the month club where you can have a group of people, like-minded people that want to get together and read this book, whatever it may be, and then once a week you can do a Google Hangout and basically have people share what they liked about the book, and you can basically just have your own book club, if that's something you like to do through these Hangouts, right, which cost you virtually nothing to do, but they are able to, if you do them properly and in a structured way, you're actually able to make money by doing that. So that's one example.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you mentioned something else in that little brief talk you were giving us right there, and that was with what you love to do. I really believe that is pivotal in any business. Whatever if you're not interested in making serious money, then go with your hobby. Do what you love to do. You can make the couple hundred if you're looking for a couple hundred extra. Perfect way of doing it, but it's always got to be something you love to do, because otherwise it's really pointless. Because if it's not something you love to do, your heart, your soul's not in it, your energy's not in it, and when your energy's not there, everybody will sense it, and then nobody wants to even be around you, which is really huge.
Yeah, you gotta love what you do. That's number one. And I mean, I've had personal experience in this as well because over 9 years, sure, there's been experiences and times where I haven't fully been enjoying what I was doing, right? Which is another one of the reasons why I wasn't quote unquote as successful as I wanted to be. But you gotta absolutely love what you do, and if for no other reason than because realize that success, no matter what you're doing, it's a journey. Right? It's not a destination, it's a journey. So when you realize that this is a process and it's continuously flowing, like you never quote unquote arrive, you're always in the process of going somewhere further, right? So it's a journey, not a destination. So you have to enjoy the journey. And if you're not enjoying the journey, you're not going to get to some other place, right? If you don't enjoy the process. If you hate the process and you hate the entire trip, by the time you get to the place you want to get to, you're not going to have as much fun as you thought you would because you've been, frustrated the whole freaking trip, right? So you have to enjoy and have fun as you're going down the road, down the journey.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference in when you're working with somebody, and when because whatever it is, you join something, and if the person that is your mentor, your trainer, whatever you want to call them, if they're not there 100% with you, working with you,
Mm-hmm.
it's really going to hurt. It's almost like going to kindergarten and you're trying to learn on your own. There's no teacher there.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes the alphabet very difficult to figure out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you gotta be associating with the right people. You have to be learning from the right people, right? You got to make sure that you're learning from people that have what you want and have been where you are, right? That the information that they're showing you and they're giving you and they're teaching you is actually going to, it's based in truth, it's based in personal real life experience, and it's going to be something that they can do as well, which is huge. It's got to be simple and easy enough that virtually anyone can do it, which is why I love what I'm doing right now. It's so simple and clear for people to follow the steps, get started, and start getting results, doing more of what they enjoy, right? Which is what this is all about. It's like teaching people, showing people how to build a business and have a life at the same time. Because just like what we've been talking about here in the last few minutes, it's like you got to love what you do, and at the same time, it's important to also be able to dedicate time for those areas of your life that are incredibly important to you, right? If you like spending time with family, if you like traveling, if you like taking time to read books, if you want to do more exercises or do yoga or whatever it is you want to do, like it's really important that if you're able to integrate that into a business, that's perfectly fine and that's awesome. If that's just something different other than your business or other than a way you make money online, then it's also just important to make sure you have time to do that stuff, right? Because there's no need for you to really need to work, 18 hours a day, trying to build a business from home. Now, if that's something you're doing and you're just starting and you're just focused on that and you're doing that and you know where you're going, that's okay, because it's going to be a short journey if you're doing, 12, 14, 18-hour days, which I've done many of those over the years, right? But it can be definitely simpler, easier, and faster. Is my point, when you get around the right people and you get plugged into the right system to make sure you're able to take action and actually get results very quickly. Yeah.
Now here's a great fun one for you, because a lot of it, like what we're doing right here, the technology is massively impactful. Before, people used to talk about internet marketing, and if you would talk to a legitimate business, like somebody who's like your accountant, your attorney, man, you mentioned that you're an internet marketer, or you're working online, they would just look down their nose at you like, what are you? That's nonsense. You're wasting your time. Now, with technology, it's all of a sudden you're seeing doctors, you're seeing attorneys, you're seeing real business owners utilizing this sort of technology we're talking about. So now all of a sudden everybody's kind of getting on board the bandwagon in regards to internet marketing, and they're realizing just how pivotal it is. for their business. Because now these legitimate business owners that have run a brick and mortar business, all of a sudden they're asking us like, man, we need your help.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
do we market? Because before it would be just they would go to some specialist and they would cop up hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising,
Mm.
and they're looking at us like Jared and I, where we generically built, and we built a legitimate business in the internet world, and all of a sudden we're getting more traffic than what a lot of the brick and mortars are ever have ever realized it was possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. I never really thought about that before. It's like, what would an average store, I guess it depends on the industry or the store, but like how many people would they get in a day? If it's a couple hundred, it's like, well, yeah, I'm getting that on autopilot just from one of my sites, So it's really interesting, actually. Yeah, the number of people that we can put, to see a message, right, or to see a product, or to see some service that they may have never seen before, and it's all possible because of the internet. Right? Because when you learn how to do internet marketing, and you learn that you can actually learn how to promote products that really benefit people and help people and empower people and inspire people and add value to people's lives, when you realize you can set up automated sales processes where people that want these products can find them from you, click buy, and you make money, and it can be done semi-automatically once you set up things. Like when you realize that's possible, whoa, it's a game changer. It's a complete game changer, because then you realize that you have more power than you realize, right? You realize that you have access to the tools that can enable you and empower you to do virtually anything in life that you want, right? When you learn how to find a need in this massive marketplace called the internet, where people are searching, billions of people are searching every single day, billions and billions of searches every day, right? For things, people are looking for solutions, people are looking for benefit. People are looking for their outcome, the solution to their problem, right? So when you learn what people are searching for, and you learn how to position yourself as a presenter of a solution, right? No matter what the product is, whatever it is they're looking for, there's a solution for it. When you do this properly, you can do this very effectively and begin making sales utilizing just some very basic concepts. But it comes by finding the right audience, finding the right product, finding the right solution, and then finding the right community to help you do that, to basically simplify that whole process. But that's what we're doing here. We're adding massive value to society by presenting offers and solutions and products and services that people are already searching for. They're already wanting this, and they want to buy, right? If they're going to buy, they're going to buy anyway, so they might as well buy from you. And so when you have your link out there, you can be the person. You can make a quick video, you can do a Google Hangout, you can do a blog post, you can do a review of the product, right, if you like the product, and you can be an affiliate for it, which means then if you make sales of that product, then you can make a commission and you can make an income by making sales, right? And so when you put up the content once and you have people see it every day, then it's just a numbers game, right? So it's really it may seem challenging or daunting to do this stuff, but when you understand it's just a couple of basic moving parts, and then you realize how to have those parts done for you, and it becomes a lot simpler that you can do it.
Well, then another thing that the internet's really done for business owners is they've really presented business owners with a cost-effective solution. There's that word you just used a few minutes ago is perfect. You're talking solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And that is key to anything in your business, whatever you're doing. That if you're providing a solution, you already know you've got a target need, so you've got a target audience you've already got in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you provide them with a solution, oh, hello, we want to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my foot hurts. What's the solution? What's the cure? What's the fix? How do I feel better?
And for example, like we were just talking, we were talking about you were talking about websites and blogging. I thought this just hit me. About 10 years ago, when blogging was in its infancy, so to speak, people thought, blogging, what is that? Now all of a sudden, if anybody's familiar with WordPress, hello, who's familiar with WordPress? Go look at some of these corporate companies, and they're on WordPress sites now. Blogging is suddenly it's it's kind of what we were just discussing with technology. You got to stay up with the technology,
Yeah.
really stay up to date. Now, how does like a Hangout? How does it impact a business? Oh, well, let's just say from a cost-effective standpoint. Let's say, I don't feel like spending thousands of dollars to fly from California to New York. Well, hey team, join us, and we're going to give you our training. We're going to do the whatever it is that, like maybe they want to do a sales presentation and they don't want to fly to their client. Well, heck, you can be in California. Let's just call somebody in Japan. Let's conduct some business. And you're talking a huge cost-effective method of doing business without really just cutting into their time and cutting into their funds. And so you're talking. That's why blogging and these Hangouts have become such a major impact, in the business community.
Oh, totally, totally. And yeah, I mean, blogging, just real quick on that. I mean, blogging in itself is transformational and literally changes the game for each and every one of us. Because when you realize, and just think about this for a second, like we all know what a blog is. So it's like, like an online journal, if you will. So you post stuff on this blog that you talk about either a product that you like or a book that you like or where you're traveling. You share some cool pictures, and you're basically just sharing your life, sharing your experiences, things that you're interested in. You're sharing them on this blog, this website, right? So when you do that, here's the cool thing that happens. You can make a video once, right, talking about a product or talking about anything, and then you can put it on your blog, right? Or you can just type it, and you can type up whatever you want to do and put it on your blog. The cool thing is, as you do that, on a daily basis about different things that you enjoy, what happens is your blog starts getting more content on it, right? There's more stuff on your website. There's more stuff on your blog, which means there's more people that can find it now, right? So when you blog and you just do simple things, make videos, write posts, and do some other stuff, it's super simple to do. And then what happens over time, and as you learn how to market it, it's do some marketing strategies are very simple and basic. When you start doing that stuff over time, more people, and now you can potentially have hundreds of people going to one particular blog post every single day, right? If you have 100 people going to one blog post every day, that's a lot of people to see that message, to see that video, to see whatever it is you're talking about, right? So if you're presenting valuable information, if you're presenting a solution, if you're presenting something that people want, right, and then you also give them a clear call to action on how to take action to get the solution, right? Click the button below or click the link below or go to some specific website and buy this product, get started and get the results that you really want. It's like when you have that happening through your blog post, that is how you can start making automated sales, because you make the content once, you market it, and then people can go and find it every single day if they're searching for it or however they're finding it. They can now see your content, see your posts, see the products that you're promoting, right, and decide to buy from you, right? And that's how you can start making sales and make money by simply blogging.
Yep. Well, I'm going to add to that one. I'm glad you brought that up, because even if they're not let's just use this Hangout as an example. So the one thing that Google Hangouts has is the fact that we can record this. Now, as soon as it's recorded, it goes straight to YouTube. Well, all you do, you stick a little blurb underneath YouTube. It's going to drive traffic over on YouTube. Take that YouTube, embed it onto your blog. All of a sudden, you've just created a whole new set of, it's a whole new content right there for your blog. Now you've tied two areas together. Now this is kind of in regards to social media. Well, now you go in, you take that and you share it onto Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you want. All of a sudden, those links are now all connected. Now, everybody that's like, for example, with a presenter, now you and I are both presenting, so we both have our separate blogs. Now we add that content to both blogs. Now there's a thing called link sharing that a lot of people aren't so familiar with, especially if they're new. They're not, well, heck, if we tie to one another, all of a sudden it becomes with the social media. One person's connected. Now all of a sudden you got followers going to you. I got followers to me. Now, if they start sharing that content, you're just driving a lot of traffic, and you're doing it the right way in Google's eyes. Because used to be that Google had, you were just talking about keywords the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Hmm.
Um, and this is where it's a little different because the way that Google's changed. Now you can't just cram the same keyword somewhere in that article. They want it to be an actual content-rich article, which is what they're looking for. So a lot of people have asked me personally, because as a writer myself, they go, "Well, how do you figure what keywords?" Well, when it comes to keywords, I myself am looking. I'm not looking for generic, like just one or two like word keywords. I'm going to look for the longer keyword, the long tail keywords, because that is going to make it a little easier for people to find you, especially with the way the search engines are today. So you got to be a little more specific in what you're looking for. But again, it's everything ties together, and when you've got that, you're just driving and just an egregious amount of traffic, especially if you stay consistent. And that's really
Yeah.
what internet marketing is. And I don't care if it's internet marketing. I don't care if I'm talking to my attorney next door or my doctor friend. It's the same thing. Everybody's driving traffic. For the mom and pop mortar shops. Traffic is king for them too. I mean, let's face it. You don't have anybody walking in your business, you don't have a business. Well,
Right.
that's the same thing with the internet. If nobody's there, then what are you doing? You're just kind of like banging your head
Yeah.
against the wall.
Exactly. Yeah, which is, I mean, that's such an important point because even like if you could have the best, online business that ever existed. You could have that like right in front of you. You could become part of it, whatever. You could have that. But if you have no one, if you're not bringing people to see that every single day, then it doesn't make any difference because no one's actually seeing how cool it actually is.
Yeah, and then yeah, not only that, you just got the impact of technology, and like you said, you can have that guy that's making a fortune, but if he's not growing, he's going to get forgotten. If he's not staying up with technology, because anymore you got these guys that are really staying up to date, and they're staying current with what's hot and what's not, and they're learning to adapt. And I think adaptability is a really big word for the internet.
Hmm.
Just what about you on that one as far as adaptability?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the internet is incredibly fast paced. If you're either growing or dying, it's like there's and at the same time there's so many new things that are happening. It's like you don't have to stay up to date with every single thing, but when you focus on something that works and you are consistent with it, and you do focus on something that works every single day, and you're consistent with doing one thing until it works the way you want it to, then you can have success. No matter if you're on the internet, if you're offline, no matter what happens, no matter what changes. It's really just important to realize, we have so many of these advanced tools that there's always more and more and more, and we definitely have to be flexible and adaptable and open and willing to change and grow and do new things, right? So that's
Yeah.
definitely important, and also mastering sort of the basics and understanding the fundamentals behind any technique or behind any technology that we use, realizing sort of the core basics, and sort of the psychological, the philosophical, the energy, the overall, all-encompassing elements of sales and business and life, regardless of its offline or utilizing some rocket-powered internet tools.
Well, yeah, and you got the other major thing that I've noticed that really kind of shifted on the offline business. As you can tell, Jared's really been more on the internet side, and I've always been kind of the more, as a business consultant, I've always dealt with more of the brick and mortars, and so what I've noticed here, just on my side, is all of a sudden, look who's doing internet marketing. And I just read something a short while ago with Donald Trump. Hmm. Ironically, what is Donald Trump doing? He's he's got residual income coming from doing internet marketing as well. And so what he was saying is that if people want to really retire and live a good lifestyle, now they've got to have something called a residual income. And that's really become big. That mindset, the residual mindset. I like that, the residual mindset. Don't know. I've never thought about that one, but I like that terminology, the residual mindset. I'm gonna write that one down.
Nice. In the creative mastermind, the ideas flow, which happens quite often when you get to call and get to talk with Ron. A lot of creative ideas happen to flow.
Sadly, Now, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because when we first met, it was we had that 4-hour conversation, and good God, that was like a nightly thing. If I remember.
Yeah, pretty much.
But one thing that I think that's changed from the beginning is organization has really become a pivotal thing, and because we've only got like 15 minutes left because we're just trying to stay within the time constraint. So trying to put in as much information out there as we can, and obviously we'll do more later on, and just for right now, can you discuss the importance of organization?
Yeah. That's a really interesting question, and I like that you brought that up because this is something I was actually just thinking about yesterday for myself. In my own life, I was like, man, what are some things I can do to become even more organized, right? Because this is such a vital concept for just general overall, life and business success. If you want to actually be effective in your actions, right? Because there's a concept of a lot of people, and even what I used to do a lot of times is I would confuse activity with accomplishment, right? I would confuse activity with accomplishment, and so I would be taking action, all day long. I'd be taking all this action and doing things, and I'm busy, right? Oh, I'm busy, but then I was never actually getting the results or the accomplishments that I really wanted, right? So it's really critical to become organized in what your high priority activities are, right? So no matter what you're doing, if you already have a business, an online business or an offline business, or even in your life, you can do this too, is just get clear on, the night. And this is actually, by the way, this is a very interesting concept that I read in, actually I've read the same concept in a couple of different books referring to Andrew Carnegie, as far as even he said, it was actually in the book Think Your Way to Wealth that he did with Napoleon Hill. Andrew Carnegie said that the one concept, the one technique, aside from all the mind stuff, but the one specific technique and strategy that he credited with being the number one principle or strategy to help him build his empire was this one technique. And the technique was, he said, the night before, the next day, you make a list of all the different activities or things you want to get done, right, for that next day. And he said, once you have that list, and you have your list of activities you want to do for the next day, he said, then you pick the number one highest priority activity, right? And you circle that, whatever that highest priority activity is, that's your number one focus. And then he said that next day, whenever you get to work or whatever it is specifically, you focus on that one thing, and you focus on that one thing and one thing only until it's 100% complete. And then once that's 100% complete, then you can move on to the next thing. But he said that one technique, if you just discipline yourself to do that every single day consistently, and you focus on that one activity and you do that until it's 100% complete the next morning, that is the one technique that he credited as being the reason, so to speak, for why his empire was so massive, utilizing that one technique. So if it works for Andrew Carnegie, it might work for us as well.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
But the other thing that happens there by staying organized, I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing that I do every morning is I've got a list, and I've always got that one thing I want to get accomplished. If it says make 100 phone calls, I'm gonna go, okay, well, I'm making 100 phone calls today.
Yeah, sure.
And then what happens, ironically, if I accomplish one thing on that from my list, I actually shoot for all of them, but but
Yeah.
if I can accomplish the most important thing, I feel successful.
Hmm.
What? What a concept! I'm successful because I got thing, one major
Yeah.
thing accomplished. Now that's
Exactly.
important. That is huge. That's a huge concept, because most of the time with internet marketing or any business, you're just getting all this stuff. And you're like, yeah, I got all this stuff done. Wait a minute, what did I
Hmm.
really get done? I didn't make a whole lot. I just got like I had one business I had stopped in. And the guy was like, "Oh, I got my shop all cleaned up."
Hmm.
That's all he got done, and he really didn't have a lot of business that day. And he's like, "Jeez, what the heck did I do? I just lost my day."
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, that he kind of felt kind of not so good about that. Well, that was a case where he didn't take the most important thing and really
Hmm.
go after that,
Yeah.
But fact of the
Yeah.
matter is, if you get the most important thing in your day accomplished that you want to, you have a sense of a fulfillment, a sense of success. And I'll tell you what, if you're successful 100% of your time, you're gonna sleep a lot better. You know,
Yeah.
you don't. It's not necessarily all about the money, but if it's if you're successful in your own mind, you can just accomplish anything.
Yes, absolutely. And this is such an incredible concept that I'm glad you mentioned this, because this is another challenging thing over the years that I, struggled with because I always wanted to have, these huge, massive financial results. But what I didn't realize, the concept that I didn't understand really or apply at the time that you just highlighted, is to really set up the rules to this game, right? This game of business, this game of life, right? But specifically with business, like set up this game so the rules, like set up the rules so it's easy to win, right? And what I used to think is that the win is me making $50,000 in a month or something, right? Like I used to just have these huge goals starting from nothing and think that would be my success, that would be my win, right? Well, that was very disappointing, as you can imagine, because that's such a huge jump right now. And there's ways to bite size that where even before you get your first sale online, you could have 5 or 10 different wins, right? Like, oh my God, I just I know I'm clear now on how I'm going to make money online. Boom, that's a win, right? Even before you make a sale, you can make a decision, right? When you see something that makes sense to you, or you're around people that are speaking about the things that you like, right? And you want to learn more about it. You want to be able to make money online or do more of what you love or do whatever it is that you want to do, right? When you
Yep.
realize that you can do that, you can take action and like, oh my God, making a decision to get started is a win, right?
Yep.
Getting a click to one of my links, that's a win, right?
Yep.
Getting your first lead, that's another win, right? And all of these will traditionally happen before you actually make your first sale. But when you realize that this is a game, this is a journey, and this is a process, then you can set it up so that it's easy for you to win, because when you're having all these wins throughout the day, just like Ron said, you'll feel better, you'll feel more successful, you'll be more confident, you'll be more focused, you'll be more excited, you'll have more momentum building in that direction because you're focused on the things that are going good, the things that are going well, the things that do happen in between the sales being made, right? Like there's things that happen throughout the day, that you can celebrate, that you can feel good about, and that you can continue to focus on, to get more of, right? More clicks to your website. That is a win, right? Just because one person clicked but didn't buy right away, that doesn't mean you weren't a success. That means you successfully got a click. You
Yep.
successfully got a person to see your website or whatever it is. But yeah, just set up the rules so it's easier to win. It's easier to build momentum, and you'll stick with it more, and you'll have more successes faster that way, and you'll enjoy the process more. Is what I found.
I think I noticed you did something that we talked about many years ago,
Uh-huh.
and that was I had mentioned a long time ago that whenever you get that first sale, I had
Mhm.
a buddy of mine that he I believe he was an attorney, his first client paid him, and he put that check. He never cashed it. He put that check on his wall. And
Nice.
that check to this date still sticks on his wall.
Yeah.
I think I noticed that you had posted like you had a sale or something like that, and you actually had like the video, and like, yes, this is what makes my morning or my day feel great, or something along that line. But I noticed that was that's something that you should do. You know, if you do something, you get it accomplished, celebrate it. Oh my God, have fun,
Yeah.
have a blast, celebrate it, make it a
Yeah.
trophy.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. And you know, because those, like you said, those little achievements, it's a one by one process, and that one person that you're trying to get to win, what's one times one? One. It's you. It's it. You. And what
Yeah.
happens is when you're winning, that you help somebody else get to their point. Now all of a sudden, one times one now becomes one plus one. You just added your second
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
And if you're helping them do it, that one times one becomes one plus one times one. And that process goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Wow, that's a powerful concept that you just shared right there, because that's so true, because it's like usually when we first start out, like even the analogy they say, you know, when you're in an airplane, and in case of an emergency and the oxygen masks fall down, you know, put it on yourself before you help, you know, your child or anyone else, right? Because you have to take care of yourself first and make sure you're cared for so that you're then able to help other people, right? Which is the same thing that you were just sharing. It's like, yes, we just have to make sure that, you know, that we're getting results, that we're taking care of ourselves, that this works for us. And then once we have that, you know, momentum, once we have that stability, right, once we can breathe clearly and freely, then we're able to show someone else exactly how to do it. We can show them the path. We can show them the same things that we're doing, right? Which is why I'm so excited about, you know, what I'm doing now. It's like now I am able to help people get started and actually make money online, by basically not having to take 9 years like I did, but being able to get started immediately, have a lot of the stuff done for you, have websites and landing pages and videos and products and sales videos and tech support and customer support and merchant accounts and all this other stuff done for you, right? So they can get started and just learn a couple of basics and start actually getting results, start getting these small wins, right? Start getting clicks, start getting leads, and then start getting sales, which can then turn into more sales, more income, and then residual income, which is what Ron was just talking about earlier. But if people are curious to see more about that, you know, you can click the link or go to www.iamreadytostartliving.com to see exactly what I've been doing and how you can actually plug into a system just like this to start making money online. But again, obviously it's not guaranteed, but if I can do it, believe me, you can do it probably a lot faster. It's a lot faster and a lot bigger than I've been doing it these past few years. So if I can do it, you can do it. Believe that.
Well, it's interesting you said that, because everything is, you know, becomes so simplified today.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to get things accomplished, because now it's with as far as technology, you know, there are products and services like what we're doing right now, the Cybernetico Live. It's a similar product, and it does a very similar goal. It's about the organization. I love that term. I love the organization. You know, and when you have tools out there that really simplify the process, you don't have to focus so much on the process of itself, rather than focus on getting what you need to get done. And then it just becomes a simple, let's just share what we're doing, period.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not having to try to go and figure out how to create a blog, not having to figure out how to oh my goodness, you remember the days of setting up autoresponders? Oh my, that used to be such a tedious process.
Uh-huh. They serve a great purpose, though.
Yeah, they definitely do. But now with the way technology is they've really simplified it, so we don't have to try to figure it out as much.
Totally.
And that's really huge for people that aren't, when they're just getting started. I mean, can you imagine? Oh, if this was right now and we had tried to get started, how much more we'd have accomplished than 9 years ago. Here, fortunately for you and I, we did kind of see everything as it evolved, so we do have a little more understanding and a little more respect for the tools that are out there today. Um, so that's
Yeah.
one difference there for us.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And that's another great point too. It's like because when people, get to see this hangout, they hear the information that we're talking about, this resonates with them. Maybe they want to get started, but they're not sure what exactly to do or what's the next step or, what are they going to do, 10 steps down the road. It's really vital what you just mentioned. It's like because we do have experience in this online world, it's like we are able to sort of guide and show people the way, right? To present the tools that we use that work well for us, and to basically help shortcut their learning curve, which is another thing that I never really had when I was in my first few years of this online marketing world. I was kind of just figuring things out on my own. I never really had someone that had already been getting results in this very specific way in this specific business with these specific products, basically like be there to show me and guide me through the way, right, making it so much easier. So I knew if I had that when I started, oh my goodness, yeah, it'd be a much different place now. But that's why I love where I'm at now, because I am able to be that for other people, right? I'm able to be that guide to basically show them the path and to show them which steps to take and which tools to consider getting, so to make their journey and their results happen much faster.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you brought that up too, because you just hit something that just it kind of triggered a thought in my head.
Hmm.
That is this. That is, you are your investment. It's simply that. You're the investment. It's no longer what companies you're representing or anything like that. Are they going to join the company or are they going to join you?
Right.
Whoa, what a thought, There's a mind blower. They're going to join you because it really becomes about selling yourself. I mean, I love. We just talked about this yesterday too, but the selling yourself, that is the biggest thing. Ultimately, when you're talking online, you're creating your working resume. What? It's true. Everything you're doing, you're trying to sell yourself, and it doesn't matter if it's, actually, you can create a powerful resume in the internet, and then if you want to blow some employer socks off it, well, present them with a video. And what?
Yeah.
Seriously, it could be that you're going to really stand out if you present them with a video presentation of everything you've accomplished compared to some
Yeah.
compared
Here's why you
compared
want to consider hiring me. Yeah, yeah, I love that.
compared to somebody who's just doing the old, okay, let me just fill this application out and here, that's good enough. It's no longer that way.
Yeah,
It,
I've
it,
even mentioned that to multiple people before. It's so funny you mentioned that specific example because I've had, like people in my family and certain friends that I've had when they would be going to, a new job interview. I would always, if I heard this, I would always say, oh, a great way if you actually do want to get this job, something you may want to consider doing is after the interview or whatever, make a quick video. Right, just basically thanking them and just adding the personal touch and just standing out. It's basically a way to stand out that virtually no one else is going to do. So that's just another cool, simple, easy, virtually free way to use video to help get you more of what you want in your life.
let's just. I'll give an example of this one. Somebody going to apply for a restaurant job. They're applying, or a baker, right? They create a
Hmm.
video of them doing their favorite hobby. They're baking a cake, whatnot. You
Yeah.
show up with the video of baking the cake. Well, not only do you show up with that, but you bring them a slice of that cake. You think that employer's not
Yeah.
going to take you seriously?
Right. Right.
Oh,
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, with all these tools, like there's so many ways to be creative, and just add that unique advantage that no one else is thinking about. That's why it's so important to be around the right people, to have the right mindset, to be around creative people, and then to learn how to use these tools for whatever it is that you want, right? Because if you just want to, make more money in your job, or you just want to, make a few extra $100 or something like that, like it's very simple way to do that utilizing some of these tools, right? So there's always a way. I know we're coming to the top of the hour here, so I just want to close by just saying one quick thing. It's like it doesn't matter exactly what specifically you want, because whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, whatever it is that you want to do in life, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can do it. And all it just comes down to is being around the right people taking responsibility for your life, for your results, and for your journey, your process. And when you're able to take 100% responsibility and you are associating with the right people and you are plugged into the right system, right, with the tools and the resources that can help you get you where you want to go very quickly, when you have all these pieces in place and then you take action, right, you are consistent and you do the right things long enough consistently to work toward your dreams, right, focused in that one direction. When you're able to do that, which is very simple, right, it's very simple to do and simple to get started. For me, I would encourage you, if you don't have a business yet, or even if you do, there's ways to learn how to market it online, and you can actually start making more money online potentially, and simply by going to www.IamReadyToStartLiving.com, where you'll see a quick video from me, you'll see the system I'm using, and you'll see how to basically replicate what I'm doing, work with me, we can collaborate, mastermind, harmonize, and really start creating some wonderful things, even more wonderful things on this planet together, which is what I'm here to do, which is why I'm here, connecting with Ron, which is why I'm here doing this video, sharing this information, and, just connecting more with you guys. I don't do this a lot, but I really wanted to because I believe in what Ron is doing. I believe in who Ron is as a person, and I'm really excited to share this kind of information with like-minded people, just like you, because I believe you're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose, and, I believe when we come together, we get to harmonize and collaborate and work together and utilize our strengths and our passions and our geniuses. When we do that together, we are so much more powerful, so much more effective, and add so much more value to the world when we are able to do that together rather than being separate. So I believe that we're here for a purpose, we're here for a really good reason. So if you guys resonate with this message, you like what you're hearing here, and you want to become part of what we're doing, you can become part of what I'm doing specifically by going to www.IamReadyToStartLiving.com to see more. And also definitely stay tuned because Ron and I will probably be doing some more hangouts soon. So definitely stay tuned for more on that angle as well.
And I'll add one more thing. I'm going to kind of add to what you're saying there. I'm glad you decided to end with that one. One thing I really want to emphasize on what you really mentioned there is when people are choosing something online, whatever it is, you really have to know what you're looking for, and it really does start with you. If you're just looking for a few extra bucks, and you may not want to join a business. It may not. You may not want to start an internet business. You may be looking more for a hobby, so to speak. That might be something where you're looking into blogging and you pick your hobbies. Those are people that you're probably just falling into that category of I just need a few hundred extra bucks or whatnot. Then most people fall in the category of they want a retirement, so to speak. They want that nest egg. Well, that's where, if you're serious about a nest egg, that's where you want to start looking into possibly running your own internet business. And that's where it's really pivotal. That's the difference. Do you want a couple $100? Do you want to make a couple thousand, several thousand? It doesn't. Whatever your goal is, it really falls on you. What is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want people to remember you for? And I think that's where I'll close on that one.
Yeah, totally. I agree 100%. You definitely want to get clear on your goal and what it is you want to, the dollar amount you want to create. And just so that everyone's clear, I mean, with blogging, you can make anywhere from a couple $100 a month to a couple $100,000 a month. Just by blogging. So there's huge opportunities there, which by the way, the community I'm involved with, that has a brand new blogging platform coming out, which is even more cool and exciting than anything I've done before with blogging. So just so you guys know that as well, that's also
we're definitely looking forward to hearing what you've got coming with that one, because whenever you say something powerful is coming out, I know for a fact it's going to be earth-shaking.
Yeah, exactly. I just got access to my brand new blog with this blogging system just a couple of days ago, so I've actually just got into it now, and I've been doing a lot more blogging moving into 2015 and beyond, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Woohoo! Here's to 2015. Happy New Year. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And with that, I think we'll call that one a night, and then we'll definitely get back together and create some new serious aha moments for everybody. I see Michael and Terry commenting aha moments.
Yeah, totally. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Michael, Terry, all the people in the chat box, everyone watching and listening to this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy. I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching this before the new year, enjoy the rest of 2014. Have an incredible new year, and may we create and live the life of our dreams even more so in and throughout 2015 and beyond. Thank you so much.
Oh, and yes, Michael and Terry, if you feel free, you can share this share it on YouTube, whatever you want. Like it on YouTube. Feel free. The more the merrier.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Take care. Bye-bye.